Welcome everyone to the Book of X channel. I'm your host Chris, and today we are back for another episode in the weekly gaming news roundup. There's a lot to discuss this week, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. So the big news of the week is, of course, the reveal by Xbox of the Xbox major game showcase. This happens every year in the month of June, has been going back over 20 years now since the E3 days, but we finally have the information from Xbox as to when it is taking place, and it is of course Sunday, June 8th. Now, for the last few years, Xbox have tagged on one game as this major showpiece. At the end, 2 years ago, it was Starfield. Last year, it was Call of Duty Black Ops 6. We have the confirmation that this year's big showpiece is Out of World 2. We're bound to see other major games drop at the reveals of this showcase, the likes of State of Decay 3, Fable, Gears of War E-Day, and so on. I'm looking to do more of a deep dive video on what we can speculate will be at this show, but save it in your calendar. Sunday, June 8th, Xbox is major showcase, broadcasting at 6 p.m. British Summer Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Time. This is a digital-only broadcast. They've got rid of the in-person event this year, but let's be honest, 99.9% of people have only ever observed this showcase digitally, so nothing has changed from that front. So with the Xbox showcase out of the way, the other big news of this week is, of course, the release of South of Midnight. I currently am on chapter 5 of the game, and I personally think it's fantastic so far. The reviews have been in the high 70s marker, but one thing's clear to me from my observations playing the game at the moment is that the music is absolutely incredible, and it's one of those rare instances where the music is what drives the entire game forward. I can't wait to keep playing more of it later on this evening, and more so into this weekend. But if you haven't checked it out yet and you got Game Pass, make sure you add this to the list of games you should be playing over the coming weeks. The other big news that got dropped earlier this week is, of course, the reveal that Marathon is possibly imminently dropping. We've seen the game appear on the Xbox game store, available for individuals to mark down for downloads, but it's essentially come out that PlayStation plan to reveal Marathon's details relatively soon. For those who are not in the know, Marathon is an old IP from Bungie that's been reborn, and has you taking the form of a runner in a marathon competition, competing against other players for scarce resources. Now, sounds a lot to me like Marathon is expected to be an extraction shooter. Not the biggest genre that I'm a fan of, but I know there's a lot of extraction shooter fans out there. There are rumors that many in the community have been playing this in private testing. It's going back as far as the last 18 months. So let's see once this drops what it turns out to be. I hope this is a big success for Bungie, because we all know Bungie's history with Xbox. They, of course, gave us the Halo franchise and shepherded that through to Halo Reach, and of course followed that up then with over the past 10 years with Destiny and Destiny 2. We know this is 100% coming to Xbox as well, even though it's a Sony published game, because of the publishing agreement that Sony have agreed with Bungie when they purchased them for 3.6 billion. So watch this space. Next up, we have the Rumour Mill. There's been a lot of Rumour Mill going around this week. So first up, I'm going to talk about Oblivion. Now, Oblivion for me was a game changer when it launched back in 2006. It completely set the tone for what I had expected from an open world game. And we've been hearing for ages that Oblivion has had some form of remake that Xbox plan to release this year. But we constantly hearing dates at the moment about Shadow Drop. There was rumours it was going to drop off the back of the ESO Direct yesterday. That turned out to not be the case. But are we expecting Oblivion Shadow Drop in the coming weeks? We're just going to have to watch this space, because there's not a lot of marrying up of people's sources and information, because everybody seems to have different answers. I would love if when I 100% going to be playing Oblivion when it comes out. Do I want the shard drop at the moment? If I'm being honest, no, because there's so much to play at the moment. I haven't got time to drop into a massive RPG. But at the same time, if it does drop, then of course I'm going to jump into it immediately, and something else is going to have to take a back burner. So we'll see. The other rumour mill we've had this week that has sadly since been supposedly debunked is the reveal of Titanfall 3. So there was a lot of rumours going around earlier this week claiming that Titanfall 3 was actually in development with a full new single player campaign coming and multiplayer. But despite our best hopes that this was returning, it was debunked by Jeff Grubb over at the Game Mess, stating that Respawn's commitment at the moment is entirely behind the Star Wars Jedi game, so the third one in the series, and of course the live service game they have going on, which is Apex Legends. So sadly, it doesn't look like this one is going to come to pass, but certainly won't stop the rumours from continuing to come along, which seems to be every few months at this rate when it comes to Titanfall 3. Rainbow Six as well, not Rainbow Six Siege, but we have heard that the in development is a brand new Rainbow Six tactical turn-based game. Now, this is a departure from what we used to with Rainbow Six, but certainly a welcome one, because I feel like in the last few years, the Tom Clancy IP has simply not been used to its greatest effect. We've only really got Rainbow Six out of it, because I believe it's 5 years since the last Ghost Recon, about 6-7 years since the last Division. We haven't seen a Splinter Cell in over a decade. Nothing new in the Hawks franchise, nothing new in the Endwar franchise. So anything new from Tom Clancy would be great. But this one is in the form of an XCOM style shooter. So for those looking for turn-based strategy games, this might just be what you're looking for. And the other rumour that's been going on this week is apparently Deus Ex. So the Deus Ex franchise, we haven't seen a Deus Ex game now, I believe in 8 years. It was, I think Mankind Divided was the last one we had in this series. But Eidos Montreal have been shipping around the idea of a new Deus Ex game, but doesn't seem to be catching on with any studio at the moment. All I'll say is, Xbox, if you are hearing these rumours, absolutely latch onto this, because Deus Ex is undoubtedly one of the greatest game franchises out there. And yes, it might not be the biggest seller, but something like this in Game Pass, I think, could have a massive reach. So that's the Rumour Mill roundup for this week. Next up, we got the more games that are coming to Xbox Cloud Streaming. So you're all aware that Xbox has been building up their catalogue of cloud streaming games, specifically those that you own, that you can play through the cloud. And we have news that 8 new games have been added to the catalogue this week. So they are Turbo Golf Racing, This War of Mine, the Final Cut, Orcs Must Die 3, Kona, Homestead Arcana, Harold Halibut, Coral Island, and Botany Manor. So if you own any of those games, you now have to play them on the go. So do jump into it. The final segment then we've got coming up is more games that were announced earlier this week for Xbox Game Pass. So NHL 25 dropped in as a surprise earlier this week, so that's available for any sports NHL or any sports fans out there to jump into right now. But we also got confirmation that The Alters and Moonlighter 2 will be dropping into Game Pass this summer, both confirmed via the AAA showcase yesterday. Now, Alters is a sci-fi survival adventure game that is definitely looking very intriguing. So the concept of this game is it puts you in the shoes of a character named Jan, who crash lands on a strange planet and needs to create alternate versions of himself in order to survive. For those who've seen the film Moon, Sounds somewhat similar to the idea of having like multiple versions of that same character. Now, this is a game that was supposed to come sooner, but it looks like after a series of delays, we're finally going to get this. The other one confirmed by the AAA showcase was Moonlighter 2, which obviously a sequel to Moonlighter 1, but the sequel has you taking Will to a village of, I believe it's Aresna, to live the life of an adventurer and a merchant with new mechanics, biomes, and many more. We also had confirmation of the developers of Sifu launching their unique game coming up. So they're launching a football or a soccer game for those outside of Europe. They're launching a new football game, which is a 5v5 multiplayer game mode that has you basically playing football, but not in the most conventional sense. So it's almost like a third person over the shoulder style camera angle in various 5v5s or 3v3s. But the way it changes things from regular football is that there's no offside rules, no fouls, so you can probably get up to all manner of stuff in this game. Not the direction I thought the Sifu developers were going to go, but certainly an interesting one. So with that, guys, that's a wrap-up of my weekly gaming news this week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did enjoy this episode, please do hit the like button, as it does a lot. But also, more importantly, if you enjoy the content on this channel, please do subscribe. So with that, everybody, do enjoy your weekends. It's fantastic weather here in the UK. But stay safe, everybody, and I'll catch you on the other side. Cheers, everyone.